great power comes great responsibility.
Okay, it should be live. Okay, so at the moment, this is going to be the Mortal Kombat 11 tier list. And this is Combat Academy by Raptor. If y'all don't know what that is, he's a really good NRS player. That's very solid at the game. And honestly, with this page, has been one of the biggest contributors, in my opinion, to the scene. Because not a lot of people who honestly contribute much in terms of outside of just content. This is probably the most I've seen people put in. But anyway, okay, tiers. How many do I think there are? 5 is good, but we're gonna rename some of these. So this is gonna be problematic. These characters, to me, low-key ruin the game to a degree that's kind of like annoying. Problematic just doesn't fit, so we're gonna make it fucking annoying. For the A tier, we're gonna put Pretty Busted. These are characters that are really fucking good, but just not quite to the point where I think they need to be addressed. Obviously the game's not being supported, but this is just my opinion on how the game stands. So if you don't agree, feel free to let me know why. You don't have to insult me. I won't insult you as long as you're being a decent human being. With that said, going forward, below that, under Pretty Busted, what would I call that? Solid. These are characters that are just good. I think they're great. I don't think they have any issues, weaknesses. I think they're really nicely, like, they're fair. These are the characters that I think are pretty good. They're not they're solid. That's the best way to describe it. I don't think they're going to be, like, I don't consider them busted. They can even if I've called them busted before, heart of hearts, not truly how I feel. Okay, under that though, we're going to put lower mid. And then for the final tier, we'll put fucking horrific, because some characters are... Nah, not even that. We'll just put ish. that's a good description, I think. Okay, so first off, characters that can't even participate. I don't know why Chronika's in every tier list. It's the one character that always confused me. But okay. So we'll go from left to right. Baraka, I'm gonna put in solid. I'm tempted to put him here, but the problem with Baraka is that he's really busted against certain characters, but he's also really weak against certain characters. So it's kind of a give and take. He has gaps, you can read stuff, but Leg Kebab really avoids him being anything under this. Like, he doesn't even come close. In fact, if he's in this, he's probably toward the top. Leg Kebab is one of the fucking best moves in the game. It DOT on non-amp. You can switch. You can pick a side, or I don't know if you can switch sides on both, but it's uninterruptible. It's hard. I'm not even sure if you can flawless block it, but I haven't seen anybody do it. It's easy mix. Has a KB in it. Totally safe, decent range. You can do it after a poke. You can close a gap with it. It just has so much utility. And then you couple that with the fact that he's got great range, great damage. Yes, his movement sucks, which is what keeps him out of, like, the problematic and pretty busted territory, I'd say. But only against a few characters do I think that's like a genuine, like, handicap. Like, where it's like this is one of the few characters with a 3-7. Or a couple 3-7s even, but he's not that, he's still not that bad at all. Like, because the characters he does do good against, or even just keeps up with, I think he's phenomenal. Like, he's just right up there with them. Characters like, Cabal, or, nah, because he can anti-air Cabal. Characters like Fujin, characters like, Spawn, characters with insane movement and great zoning, so characters like, I want to say Shang Tsung, characters like even Cassie Cage. I don't know, characters that just Jade's a good one. Centrion. Sorry, I don't know why I didn't think of those two earlier. But characters like that give him a really hard time. So I completely understand why Baraka mains sometimes feel like he needs buffs, but they're also brain damaged if they genuinely believe that. Yeah, Baraka, solid. Cassie Cage. I honestly really don't like this character to the point where I want to put her there, but honestly, realistically, she's solid. She's far from overtly annoying, but she's definitely a character that honestly doesn't have any glaring weaknesses in my opinion, other than maybe damage. But damage in a game that has so many opportunities to open somebody up, kinda, I don't know, she just has a lot of... She's a great character to me. I think she's like Baraka. Unlike Baraka though, instead of being like really like not balanced, she's very much like across the board decent, I'd say, against pretty much all the cast, which is what keeps her solid for me. Like low gunshot, great spacing. She has a really good anti-air with that little glow kick. I think it's back 3 or something like that. With her honestly, she was lower tier, but with the armor break, she is up here. She's definitely solid, pushing towards pretty busted. But the double shot projectile really helps against characters with reflect and like parries and stuff like that, because then they can't do both unless they're like Robocop or Aaron Black, where they just shoot both anyway. But yeah, her health brings her down a bit too. That 950 is definitely, trust me, towards the end of the game, that shit is critical. And opportunities where you usually have like a sliver left, she just dies. Like it makes a difference. I see it more often. I see it just as often for Cassie's dying from that shit as I do surviving that shit. And theirs is only a 50-point difference. Mine's is a 100-point difference from health in terms of well, as Shao Khan at least. But like, this goes back to, you know, she has really great tools though. I don't think she has any really glaringly bad matchups, none that I know of at least. Maybe Subzero, I don't know. Because with Subzero, she has to play his game, and his movement is insane. But Subzero's in a different tier. So like I said, characters, even if they do have losing matchups, if it's the characters that are at the top, I don't consider that a glaring weakness, because most of the cast loses to the characters in like this tier, this problem tier at the top. If your characters in like, if whoever you're losing to is in that category, you're not considered weak to me, because you're like most of the cast. Most of the cast is losing to the characters. I'm pointing at it like you guys can see me. Most of the characters in this one are shutting, or yeah, all the characters in this one are shutting down most of the cast. So Cassie Cage, great tools, decent all around. I don't really see any glaring weakness or glaring strength. Great toolkit, decent character all around, really good, really plays the neutral game well, I think, in my opinion. Okay, Centrion, problem. Big problem. Tornado, still a fucking issue. Yes, there are ways to avoid it, but the fact that her toolkit, even outside of that one move that is problematic, is already really, really good. That 950 health definitely brought her down a little bit, as it did Cassie. But, I mean, I don't think she's top 1. I definitely don't. I know there's a lot of people that will disagree with that. I know there's a lot of people that think Centrion is top 1, but honestly, genuinely, if you play patient, to me, Centrion is really not that bad. You just have to play patient. Still, with that said, she's one of, in my opinion, the most annoying characters to fight. And again, her toolkit on top of that one stupid move just really puts her up here for me, because Tornado and Rockwall just mixing it is insane to me. And even if you flawless block it, most characters don't have an up to like Shao Kahn's, let alone Kotal's. So even if you do flawless block it, it's like, it's hard. She's hard to punish even when you make the right read. And that's the only issue I have with this character, is that like Rockwall is active for like 5 years. Like, you can apply and go to Harvard and finish, but by the time the active frames like are still like are going to be done, you'll be graduating with a full bachelor's degree in whatever field you want to pick by the time active frames are done. Yeah, I really, honestly, too, this character, I think at a really high level, she requires a lot of brain power. But for the most part, most of us, 99% of the community's not playing at that level. Damn near more than that. I'd say 99.5, that's what I want to say. I think only 0.5% of the people playing this game are at a level where Centrion's not like, holy shit, problematic. I think for the most part, she's really brain dead at the lower levels, and at the mid levels, she's not a whole lot of execution. And yes, for the people that play her, she might seem not that strong because you're not cashing out on damage, you're not really mixing people necessarily, but you're chipping away the entire game with a character that has really great range, full screen everything, a teleport, one of the best in the game, no less. And then to top it all off, she has one of the easiest fuck everything moves with rock wall. And she has two. That's another issue. Most characters might have one, like fuck this move. She has two. Tornado and rock wall are both like fuck it. Tornado and a natural barrier. That's the natural carrier. That's what I used to call it because it carries people. Devorah. I'm gonna put lower mid. Devorah. You play certain people, she's gonna seem busted, but honestly, this character to me is pretty easy to deal with, in my opinion. Just down to it the right times, flawless block, whatever. There's a lot of ways out of her pressure. Like with armor interactables, fatal blow, stuff like that. The bugs to me aren't that effective unless you're playing people like Honeybee or Mountain Dew the Joker. You're not really gonna struggle too much against Devorah. And I think in terms of her toolkit, she's pretty good, but not insane. I think on right reads, that's why she dies really quickly. I don't think she's a super strong character, but I don't think she's super weak either. Really good KB, and she can really cash out on that damage. That is definitely one of her strongest tools. I think what keeps her out of problem territory, Ish territory, is definitely the fact that, yeah, that KB and the launcher, like the launcher's really good, the teleport launcher, because on a hard read on projectiles, you can make the right read and just cash right out. Aaron Black, I'm gonna put him pretty busted. If your character can't teleport, this guy is going to fuck you raw, sideways in a bush, because Scud Shot, Acid Pour, and Low Peacemaker to me are some of the dumbest moves in the game, and all three belong to him, obviously, but like all three moves are pretty damn dumb, and they're like, you can equip all three if you wanted. Obviously that's not ideal. Most people rock it'll be Scud Shot, Low Peacemaker, and the enhanced Locked Unloaded. I think the problem with Aaron Black is not so much his he's just really brain dead to me. This character to me requires probably the least amount of strategy. Not out of the whole cast, but one of. Like, I think he's pretty down there for, like, brain requirement. Because, I mean, slight mix into maybe a Ghetto Cancel if they're rocking the enhanced Rattlesnake slide or whatever. If they're rocking that, whatever. But moves like Low Peacemaker are just absolutely stupid to me. A lot of the cast straight up can't even punish that shit. And the fact that, like, Acid Pour is, like, a completely... And Acid Pour to me is, like, Kotal's Grand Discus, but, like... you don't even gotta spend meter, and it has a KV, and Kotal's KB is a lot harder to hit than Aaron's. All you literally have to do is hit that shit while they're in the DOT, the acid. I think that's one of the dumbest KB requirements ever. I think they should have made it like Johnny's, a reversal throw KB. His armor break should have been fuck. I don't know. I don't want to get too ignorant. As a kid, I guess it's whatever, but just I really don't feel outplayed fighting this character. I'll say that a lot in my videos, but genuinely Aaron Black, to me, just isn't that, like, I don't know, he's not that intensive of a character. His character is very much low brain power, in my opinion. Back 2-2, like, just, you can literally just do that into Low Peacemaker and be okay. If not Scud Shot, I mean, fuck. A lot of people aren't flawless blocking it. And even if they are, I mean... you can just be stupid with it, go right into the slide or something. I mean, there's literally so many things you can do. Yes, the slide's unsafe, but with the already safe options you have, you can literally throw in an unsafe one and be pretty safe for the most part. You can throw it every once in a while. The drop kick, do we really even need to talk about it? Online, it's pretty difficult to react to, especially if you're like me and most of your opponents are at least 120 MS or above. It's very annoying to deal with. So again, this is my perspective. If you have reasoning to think that Aaron is lower, that's totally fine. But from my experience, this character is very frustrating to fight and doesn't seem to require a whole lot of brain power. Let me edit this real quick. Is I gonna change it? I just want to change the background. Yeah. Oh, nice. That's a lot easier in the eyes. But yeah, Aaron Black, dummy. Frost. Holy shit, do I hate the fucking fighting Subzero 27. But the dive kick's pretty dumb. Let me think though. How would she do against characters like... Yeah, because I watch a lot of people struggle against that guy's Frost. I don't think it's a Devorah and Shao Khan exclusive. I don't want to put her up there, though. That's going to insult a lot of people. Frost to me, and solid's the wrong word. I just don't think she's that fucking busted, but I also don't think she's shitty at all. This character to me, if you play them the way Subzero 27 plays them, is one of the dumbest fucking characters in the game. A poke anti-air that anti-airs literally anything, a dive kick that goes through everything and is safe on block as long as she hits the ground first. Even the mid, I mean, Jesus Christ, you can just throw it in. It's like Kung Lao's dive kick, obviously, but unlike Kung Lao's dive kick, it's fucking safe sometimes and travels full screen for some reason. So if you read a projectile with this thing, you literally don't have to worry at all. I realized though that Kodo can actually parry that shit, so I'm gonna try that out next time I see him. That tells me that other characters could probably parry it too, which is why I put her down. I probably would have kept her in pretty busted if you couldn't parry that dive kick. But like the head setups, completely fucking useless to me. Fatal blow, armor interactables, all that shit will hit her right out. Honestly, even just a down 2 trade, she doesn't get a shitload of damage. Her KBs are garbage. But an overall very annoying character to fight. Constant jump back and a dive kick with zoning. Not to mention the auger drills. I mean, yeah, there's ways to deal with it, yes, but they're really fucking annoying because they keep you out of range, and if they just hit by themselves and you're in the air, that's a fucking KB, and it's one of her best KBs too, like to add insult to injury. So Frost, solid, but it's because she's fucking annoying. Fujin, problematic. Jesus, this character problematic. Yes, this character doesn't necessarily have mix, but strike throw and full screen control, like at all times. The only place I think he controls the screen literally everywhere. In the air, he might lose to characters like Shao or Cabal just because they got like super good jump 2s and stuff like that. But like, I mean, even then, like full screen, he's got the wind push to prevent you from taking your turn. Yes, it does no damage, but still, he can just like trade. His projectile is not super garbage, and he amplifies it, makes it unavoidable. You have to block it. Most people just flat out get hit by it from when I see it. I don't think he's too. Oh, 1 second. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Back to it. Okay, where was I? Frost, really annoying. Honestly, I know I'm saying that, it seems to be a theme here, but it's just the way this game just plays annoying to me. Oh no, I was talking about Fujin. Yeah, this guy controls the whole fucking screen. It's really stupid to me. You couple like his attacks and overall like range with just back 2 and that little slide kick. I think it's forward 3 or forward 4. But you couple that with the fact that, yeah, his dash is like double a lot of the casts. It's like, okay, it's unnecessary. Really easy to hit confirm almost everything he has. Really good. Honestly, I know his KBs are pretty easy to hit. It's another thing too. Like his KBs don't require too much in my opinion. Like a Fujin match, I always see a KB getting hit at some point. This character to me is not a problem at the lower levels, but mid to high, with a little bit of execution, you can make this guy really problematic. He shuts a lot of the cast down with, like, once you put in that little bit of work, and I'm going to say little bit because you don't need a shitload. You definitely need a little bit, but not a lot. And once you get that execution down, this character can take you fucking a lot of places. Geras is solid. Honestly, after all the nerfs, he went from problematic to like, okay, I can work with that. With customs, he went back up. I'd say he was kind of toward the bottom before customs, but like when they or was it? I'm not sure. With this, just where, because now that basically with any ability, if you're allowed to, he's pretty fucking strong. There's a couple of matchups he might do a little bad in, but overall, like, I don't think he's a really tough character. He has something similar to Raiden's. It's like 4-3-2 or something like that. Geras is not an overhead, it's a mid-mid. So, I mean, that kind of eliminates a lot of the mind game. His command grab is pretty good, but I don't see it utilized too much. I see it utilized pretty often, but a lot of time it's down for sand trap, and it seems to be like the peak of his spacing ability. But his KBs are really good, damage is there. Movement is okay. He has pretty decent range. Up close, he's a monster. Strike throw is definitely there. He's still a really strong character, but not busted in my opinion. Solid. Exactly where he is. Okay, another jackass. Jackie the Jackass. To me, this character is top one. Between the air goop and her strings, her movement, her recovery, it all just culminates together into one fuckfest of a character. She just absolutely obliterates most of the cast, from really good damage to an easy to hit KB to air control in a game where anti-airs aren't super strong. The DOT, like the fact that she has a DOT that's a projectile, like it hits, is fucking insane. Like Kano has something like that, and I guess Aaron kinda does, because when he hits you with the slide, he throws the acid right where you are. But Jackie's is like, you can't punish her for it really unless you block it. Like you have to, and yes, that's not a big requirement on paper, but when you mix that up with her ability to just jump through the fucking air, it's this character you've seen time and time again rob people from 1 KB in the fatal blow. And you know, just overall, like the mix. And then if people start flawless blocking, you can make a hard read. If you ever seen MF Slayer play this character, once people start the flawless block, or if he just knows they're going to, he'll do an empty jump into a straight down 2. Because what happens is, you as a when you're playing against Jackie, you are waiting to flawless block when you see her do that leap, and you'll try to time it. You'll hit block up 2 as you do, but because he threw a down 2 and didn't jump at all, you don't flawless block anything. And because of that, you get a stand 2 or something like that, which is almost always, I think there's no jabs in the games are mids. So you get a jab, which is a high. And that down 2 comes out as you're throwing a high. If you can't see where I'm going with this, you get a down 2 KB to your chin in the GG's. Jackie, I don't even need to say that much about. There's countless of complaints and videos on why this character is so fucking stupid, but yeah, that's why she's at the very top. Jade, I'm gonna put in this character too. This category too. Jade is, I don't think she's up with these characters, but she's definitely like at the bottom of this. Like if I could put her over here, I would, because she's, the problem with Jade is she shuts down a lot of the cast, including some of the top tiers, which is really huge. I think people really, I mean, you see a lot of people hate Jade. A lot of it's justified. Sikander is probably the biggest like speaker on anti-Jade beliefs. She's definitely one of the best zoners in the game, but you couple that with stupid range, a brain dead move, and a charge attack that punishes most attacks. In fact, it punishes more attacks than a lot of characters' charge attacks. Charge attack is something like Shao Khan's shoulder. What's another one? Johnny Cage's shadow kick. It's Jade's shadow kick. Jade's shadow kick is, yes, it's a high, yes, it's punishable in block, but it's such a fast check. And if you have the nitro kick thing, like off the pole run, it's plus. I mean, yeah, it's high, but it jails into from a lot of stuff. So I mean, it's not even really a fucking high. You couple that kind of shit with like Delia's dance. I don't think you can equip the two, but Delia's dance like is up there with Baraka's leg kebab. Yes, there's an OS for it. Who showed me the OS? Matrix Juno tried to show me that shit, but the thing is, I thought he meant OS like I can punish the move consistently. That's not the case. I think I'm just used to playing Shao so much, I think that's what OS means. No, it means you can punish one and at least block the other. Like, it's just so, pretty much that pretty much answers the question, like because that was a debate we're having, was, well, Delia's dance is safe low that you can cancel from practically anything, and it restands too if you don't amplify it. If you just, all you gotta do is hit confirm it and you don't amplify it. It's a low, it's really quick. The hit timing is kind of awkward, meaning if you're trying to like anticipate a stagger or something like that, you might not quite block the amplification or even just the end of the regular. Projectile's really good. Glow completely shuts down a lot of characters like play style. Maybe not the entire thing, but like certain ranges and stuff like that. Like some characters just can't compete because she has glow, so like they can't hit her at all. Yeah, Jade has too many 6-4s to me. Possible 7-3s. Like, she's just too strong against a lot of the cast. Not like most of the cast, but a good chunk of the cast like can't do shit against Jade. And that's what puts her up here. I don't think she's busted against the entire cast. I just think she's really stupid against enough of the cast to put her in this category. Yeah, Jade, up there. Jax, I'm gonna say lower mid. Character can definitely mash your fucking health away. Decent KBs, kinda. You can kind of hit confirm the back 2 one where you hold it off a jump 2. He's got mix. The command grab is KB is fucking amazing once you learn the timing consistently. Got a mid-screen fucking command grab that you can just mix with a KB in case someone's trying to down 2. That little runner, like where he kind of dashes across the screen, and if he amplifies it, he grabs you and then shoots you in the gut, or he like bops you on the head with the gun and then shoots you in the stomach, and you kind of like go back. And then the other one, he just palms you in the chest, like the unamped one. That move is, yes, it's both are unsafe technically, but I mean on a good read you're eating either a command grab or a fucking KB. And the command grab is really quick. You can also cancel off a lot of shit like down 1-2 into it, which checks a lot of people trying to poke back. Solid character, but what keeps him in lower mid for me is, other than that, he doesn't have anything too overwhelming. I've never heard anybody be like, oh, Jax is such a stupid fucking character, dude. Like, it's the same with Devorah. I know people, I don't like Jax players because they just play stupidly, but that's not the character, that's the player. Yeah, pretty down there. Not too much of an issue for me with either character. Maybe both my cons counterpick him, whatever, but maybe against characters like Sonia, just because he has mid-range and stuff, and his pokes are pretty good. His throw loops are okay. The heating arms is really scary if you get the clap. Pause. You know what I mean? The clap armor break. Yeah, Johnny Cage, solid. Doesn't shut down really anybody in my opinion. He might do good against some of the cast, but I don't think he like necessarily loses to anybody either, except maybe the top 4 up there. I don't think he's all that insane. I think he's really annoying up close, but I think if you learn if you're just not using Shao Khan or Kodal, his strings whiff a lot, like I've seen it, and that's what Johnny Cages throw out the most when they're downplaying their character is, oh, his fucking shit whiffs, like, oh, every time the string came in, it's unsafe. It's like, yeah, well, my character doesn't work, so you're bitching to the wrong guy. Yeah, Johnny Cage, solid. Not a lot of issues, not a lot of super strengths either. Solid. Good toolkit, good moves, decent matchups. Solid. Joker, I want to say pretty busted, just because of the range, and some of his moves are a little stupid, but I'm kind of tempted to put him in solid. Kind of want to put him here. I'll leave him up there. Joker's still pretty fucking good, that's why. Great armor break, the throw KB off the fatal blow cancel, like that shit. It's not the throw itself, it's the fact that he can mix you from there. He can throw you the other way, he can go into a mid, and if he hit confirms it, you're getting launched potentially. Like, he's just an all-around awesome character to me, and doesn't have a whole lot of weaknesses, nor do I think he has losing matchups. I do great against Joker for the most part, I feel like. As Shao Khan especially, I definitely don't really struggle against Joker. Even Kodal, I mean, I can just play keep away with Kodal, it's a lot easier. So yeah, from my experience, Joker, pretty busted, but I see a lot of people, like, I see him thrive against a lot of the cast, so I'm gonna put him up there. Cabal, problematic, definitely in front of Jade. Character is so fucking stupid. In fact, I'm gonna put him in front of Centrion. Yeah, that's the order I'm gonna go with for the 5 up there so far. Jade's not top 5, by the way. I got one more little asshole we're gonna put probably right behind Jackie, actually. Cabal's really up there though. I think him and Subzero are probably tied for second, like for that spot behind Jackie. They're not far behind from her either. Cabal's got stupid range, a really annoying air move that doesn't even require a meter like Jackie's. Like, at the very least, Jackie's shit requires a meter. He's got great fucking damage, good pokes, good frames, easy flawless block mixes. Like, when I say flawless block mixes, I mean you don't know if he's gonna poke you because it's that safe, or he's just gonna flawless block you. And it's a hard read either way. Like, yeah, even a Shao Khan, I can read it technically with stand 1, but if he just down 2s, that's a fucking KB for me. Yeah, I'm not gonna say too much. Cabal shuts down a lot of the fucking cast to the point where it's just annoying to even watch him play. In my opinion, very boring character. Definitely kind of brought the game down in terms of quality for me. Kano, I'm gonna put in pretty busted. I'm gonna put Aaron down in solid. Really stupid, but I don't think he's better than fucking Baraka and Cassie and shit. Kano's pretty busted though, just because that corner DOT is fucking insane. It's another free combo as long as you hit confirm in the corner. The command grab, let alone if you fucking read a roll. Like, I read rolls all the time. Kano players just don't really do it that much. But yeah, people really underestimate the fucking strength of that move. All you have to do is punish a roll with it. And I like Collector. Collector has range, but Kano like moves with his range. Like, he dashes forward for forward 1. Forward 2, whatever button it is, the mid string, the 3-hitting mid string with no gap and ends in an overhead. That one. Speaking of that, like that string, +1 or 2, something like that, completely uninterruptible, a plus, and it ends in a block. It ends in a overhead. Like, he can't check you with a low or anything. Yes, but he can stagger it. He can stagger it or finish or cancel the third hit into like or cancel the second hit into like a special. Do something different. The biomagnetic pull or whatever, the move where he pulls you from like half screen, that move's really good. Yes, it's disgustingly punishable, but it's a great check and an easy fucking punish if you catch your opponent missing from anywhere past sweep distance. Like, a lot of characters like Shao Khan have to put themselves within the hurt box of their whiffing opponent to punish them whiffing. Kano doesn't need to do that with that pull, he just does the pull. Like, it's a really easy, it's like Scorpion's teleport, you know, or like Subzero slide. You know, you see someone whiffing, you can just throw that move, and it's very useful. And unlike Subzero's ice ball and Scorpion's teleport, it's, or not ice ball, ice slide, or like Subzero can't even combo off the ice slide by itself. Scorpion's teleport is you can break out of no problem without any like more damage besides just that amplified hit. Kano can break the armor if he amplifies, or no, I think it restands you. Yeah, it restands you on amplification. He can launch you and then break your armor anyway if you try to break out. Overall, a really strong character. Pretty busted. I don't think he's problematic though. Kitana, fucking pretty busted. This character is so stupid to me. Between Lofan and Adenian Twist and her overall staggers, online this character is a fucking menace. I'm gonna change this, by the way, for the people that see it. Let me see if I can. Oh, it's all caps. My mistake. But yeah, Kitana is really up there for me, just because I see the worst players that I run into consistently take games off me with Kitana. Low fan, yes, his fall is blockable, but online it's really difficult to hit consistently. You guys have seen me hit things consistently since my channel started. I still cannot flawless block that fucking move consistently. It's dumb. And she doesn't even have to amplify it. So you can just do the low and then poke into the low again, or amplify it if she pleases. The character just has a lot of stupid, not too much brain power moves for me to put her any lower than pretty busted online. Yeah, fuck Kitana, fuck Adenian. Collector, Ish. Character's pretty fucking strong, but nah, not even that. He's pretty good, but there's a lot of ways to deal with him. I think people just don't know. He's not a highly labbed character, and I don't see anybody terrorizing anything with this character. He's even lower. Like like you got Honeybee for Devorah. You got there's a couple like big name Jax players out there. Yeah, Collector, I mean, other than I think Deadly Rebel, there's like none. Creative Royalty's pretty good, but homie don't even really play the game anymore. I don't think Deadly Rebel does either. Yeah, overall just dumb. Kodal, I'm gonna put in front of Kitana and pretty busted. I'm also gonna put Kitana at the back of that one, but in front of Joker though. Okay, for this, Gearus in front of. Sorry, I'm gonna adjust this accordingly now. Cassie. Yeah, Frost there. Johnny there. Yeah, this looks good. Where was I? Kodal. Okay, so one of my mains. Kodal is a very, very strong character, and yes, he is pretty much problematic. I think he's very much like a problematic character for some people. I think if you don't know how to deal with Kodal, he can be overwhelming really quickly. And yes, he can definitely make momentum into an easy game. But, this character is so risky to play. And with no up-close quick mid to check people, he is difficult to play at a higher level. And even against idiots, you can get away with a lot at the same time. I'm not saying where it balances out, I'm just saying where it keeps him out of the problematic category. Like Sunlight DOT, super good, but holy shit recovery, and it stays right on him. Like, you can just fatal blow that shit. For those of you that haven't figured it out, just do straight fatal blow. He can't do anything unless he's in the corner. Even then, another thing that people don't know you can deal with, go test this out and practice move before you quote me on it, but a lot of characters up twos, at least the faster ones, can hit him out of the Sunlight startup, meaning the Sunlight won't even come out in the corner if he amplifies the command grab. So if he hits you with a combo and he finishes it with the amplified command grab to keep you in the corner, and he tries to go in the Sunlight, if you wake up two, it'll hit him out of it. At least it has for me a few times. I don't know how consistent it is. I'll go test it out later, but definitely there's ways around Kodal is what I'm saying. Make forward to whiff, flawless block it. A lot of that too, you know, people don't really flawless block the gaps. If you're not reading command grab, like if you're just gonna block it, flawless block the fucking gap. You don't have to like just sit there and hold everything. That's my whole thing, is I see way too many of you just block it normally. 1 2 2, you just block it, and it's like, okay, well, if you're not gonna flawless block, I'm just gonna keep doing that and then randomly throwing a command grab when I think you're not expecting it. Like it shifts the game way more in my favor when you're not utilizing the flawless block mechanic correctly against Kodal. He has gaps and punishes, you just have to know them. This character I feel like is definitely pretty busted, but people also just don't lab him enough, in my opinion. Because I do just fine against him as Shao, and he actually kicks the shit out of Shao Khan. Yeah, Kodal pretty busted. Kung Lao, fucking right above him, in my opinion. Kung Lao's buzzsaw is one of the dumbest moves in the game because it changes sides, so not even a teleport can save your ass. Yes, you can trade, but if this dickhead gets the life lead, which is not hard for him to get because he has a pretty good armor break and decent damage, meterless launcher. Kung Lao has really great tools, really great staggers. His throws leave him in such a good spot a lot of the time where you can set stuff up and stay mid-screen too, where your opponent can't really back up because you can dive kick and get right in. And they can't really punish you because if they do, they get hit by the hat. Like Buzzsaw kind of, honestly, Kung Lao was annoying, but I didn't think I thought he was lower mid. But that one fucking move to me put him way up here because it's really stupid. Definitely one of the dumbest moves in the game. I want to make a tier list of that too. Dumbest moves in the game. Yeah, Kung Lao pretty busted. Liu Kang, I'm gonna put in front of Kitana but behind Kano. Now a lot of people think Liu Kang is top 5. You're an idiot. Liu Kang has a lot of good up close game, like good pressure, good frames, great mix. Especially if you get the command grab going in, you get the back one tick. Like, there's a lot of things you can do to keep your opponent like on the ropes when you're up close as Liu Kang. However, the character struggles to me against any character that has decent ranged attacks. Maybe not fully struggles, but like characters like Noob Cybot, Shao even, like Subzero, or I don't know, characters that just can keep you back a little bit range-wise, like Noob Cybot. I don't know if I already said that, but like characters like that to me keep Liu at bay really, really well. And unless you've mastered Liu's movement, you're gonna struggle a lot against a lot of the cast that can move pretty well and keep you like at past sweep distance. Because sweep distance and closer is where Liu kind of thrives to me, just under sweep distance. But if you can keep him like a little further than that, he's really harmless to me. You just have to play keep away. And like not even full screen. You just got to keep him at half screen or further, which to me is a lot easier to do against a character that doesn't really have a charge attack other than fly kick, which is a fucking high. And without anything else, I mean, I'm not really worried about, you know, anything else. Like, Jade has a couple, like, low projectiles that are a little, or like she has the pole vault and stuff like that. Liu Kang only has fly kick and low fireball. That's the only thing he can really hit you with. Yeah, he has the high fireball too, but that, like, you know, you can see that coming. Same with the low, like, you can block it, but I mean, it keeps you from completely zoning him out. But overall, yeah, I think he's pretty busted just because up close he's a fucking monster, but he gets shut down by a good chunk of the cast to me. Molina, Ish. Character's not super shitty. I think she's in collector's territory where, like, she's just kind of underrated. But I also think she's still pretty bad. Like, I think she's underrated. She's not the worst in the game to me, but she's still pretty bad. She just doesn't have much going for her. Nothing really sticks out from Molina. I mean, her movement, yeah, everything she does is a character that does it, like, better with a general toolkit that's probably better than hers too. Like, that's the part that really makes Molina down here for me. Character just overall just doesn't do all that well. You can win with Molina, she's viable, she's just not strong to me in any real aspect. One second. Hello. Okay, sorry, back to it. I interrupted probably one more time when my girlfriend gets here too to make it worse. Can't fucking wait. Okay, Nightwolf. Solid, really interesting. I actually want to pick him up. Nightwolf looks really fun to play, but lack of an anti-air really kills him against a lot of the cast. And overall, he doesn't have anything that's scary. You know, the command grab is meh, his damage is meh, the armor break is okay. Like, yeah, he doesn't really stick out. In fact, I kind of want to put him, yeah, he's kind of lower mid. His mix-up's not really real. His KBs are okay. Like, yeah, he's meh, very much meh. But yeah, I'm gonna put him behind. Yeah, I'm gonna put him behind them too. He's actually just above Ish to me, but he looks fun. Like, I want to play him. Noob Cybot, I'm gonna put here. No, I'm gonna put. I almost want to put him in front of Kodal, but that would be blasphemy to a lot of people. Noob Cybot to me is one of the dumbest characters in the game in terms of just general toolkit. But I know against a lot of the cast he has some issues. Like, he gets zoned out. And if the character has something that low profile is teleport, he can't really check it, like, at all. So I completely understand why people might not think he's busted, but he has some of the most autopilot strings that have no real, like, they have decent frames, they're not punishable. Low slide, fucking insane as a poke check, and if someone reads it and they jump up, like, yeah, whatever, but, I mean, if they read, but then you can read that and just anti-air them, and it's the fact that he has super good damage with really good frames on top of like decent range. Like, just that combination to me is too much. I don't think he's problematic because, yes, I know he has some matchups that are horrific, but his general toolkit against characters that can't deal with it, like, head on, I think he's really fucking difficult to fight, especially online. 113, super stupid string. KBs are pretty dumb. The down 4 poke is unnecessary. I don't think it needs to fucking hit that high. Like, you can't really jump over it. It kind of hits you out of a lot. It acts like a mid, but it hits low. Yeah, stupid. Raiden, I'm gonna put in solid. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on this character because that teleport and air Superman is stupidly underused. With Raiden, you can play keep away like a motherfucker once you have the life lead. I don't think people understand how easy it is to do that shit either, because I've lost to some dog shit players that just used Raiden and either completely mixed, because online it's hard to do the OS for the command grab and the storm cell, or they just did keep away. Like, they hit me a few times, punished maybe 1 or 2 things that I might have read wrong. They got a slight life lead and just played keep away. Faraway Superman, you throw some lightnings in there to prevent me from throwing out the lunge. Other characters, yeah, they can teleport too, but, like, Raiden's fucking teleport is fast. It's fast as fuck. Character's really slept on. I think he's solid, just people don't want to acknowledge it because other than that, though, yeah, he has some dumb fucking tools, but outside of those few stupid tools, he doesn't really have shit else. Like the launcher sucks. I'll talk a little bit more about Raiden. Yeah, his launch storm cell is, it's a stupid move, but it's also like bad. Like it's also bad. It really carries shit players at a low level, but at a mid level it's garbage, and like even higher it's garbage too. Got great range, great range punishes. Got a great check with forward 2, forward 4. Yeah, he's solid. Rain, Eesh. No, I'll put him above Nightwolf though. I think Rain is pretty bad. It's his damage. His damage is just too low. He has everything else going for him. Decent range, okay strings. He has quite a few gaps though. Yeah, the gaps and the damage, that really brings him down. If he lost any of those, he'd go to solid. Lost both of them, he'd be pretty busted. He's a really solid character on paper, but he just doesn't have anything that sticks out to balance out those gaps and that lack of damage. Yeah, doesn't quite do it. Rambo, Eesh. Let's just put Devorah back. It's irritating me. Rambo to me is the worst character in the game. C4, whatever. A lot of his shit is really slow, has a lot of recovery. The mix is whatever, but it's a hard read. Both are unsafe. His specials are whatever. His KBs are whatever. His armor break is whatever. He just has nothing. To me, at least. He's a cool character to watch somebody win with, but even then, like, it's usually just zoning and, like, I don't know, it's not even cool zoning, and he doesn't have anything else. Like, RoboCop is a cool zoner to watch, who, this actually brings me to my next point. Solid, like, this is a good zoner. I'm gonna put Robo in front of Johnny, but behind Gearus. RoboCop, to me, is a really great zoner, but he also has, like, he's okay up close. He's viable. And that combination to me is solid. Like, you're not busted like Centrion, nor are you like pretty fucking strong up close. Like he's definitely not Liu Kang up close, but he's definitely not like Centrion from afar. But he's also like not dog shit either at either of those. So mid screen he's whatever, but he's got decent movement. He can get himself in or out if he needs to be pretty back to viable again, like against most of the cast. So to me, RoboCop's solid. I need a water break after this. Scorpion, I'm gonna put above Baraka. This is a character that actually, you know what, I'm gonna put him in pretty busted, right behind Liu Kang, in front of Joker, behind Katana. Scorpion to me is a really another slept on character. His mains have sworn up and down since day one that he's not that good, but to me he has some of the most autopilot gameplay out there. In fact, I think he's top 2. He might be tied with like Noob Cybot or fucking Cabal, but like those characters are above him. You know what I mean? His overall game plan is just so stupid because you can just literally do whatever the fuck you please. And whether it works or not, I mean, whether you hit them or they block it, you're pretty safe for the most part. Nothing's really too punishable. You can always cancel it and get away. He can even, like, you can even bait flawless blocks with him. Like, I've seen people try to flawless block up to some of his attacks, but if he teleports, you can just straight up punish it. I think that happened to me once. Yeah, it did. A lot of Scorpions are doing the cancel because it's safe, but if you read flawless block hard, you can literally teleport punish a flawless block read, which is insane because you don't have to fucking risk a parry like or yeah, I guess if you went for the combos, whatever, you definitely do it. Like Liu Kang has to throw out the parry, I have to throw out a 9-frame high to bait a flawless block, and then I have to time it if it's an up 3 if I want a reversal throw punish. Like, Scorpion doesn't have to work that hard to get a lot of that stuff to me. I think he definitely requires some execution, and you definitely need to like know your options, but I don't think he requires all that much at all. Pretty busted, not a lot of effort. Shang Tsung, pretty stupid. I want to put in here though. I'm gonna put, yeah, right there. Shang Tsung's really fucking strong and really stupid, but he also has a lot of like you can exploit him quite a bit. Character definitely has like weak spots. Not a whole lot of damage. His pokes or whatever. His mind games are not really there. A lot of his shit is interruptible or punishable. Ground Eruption, you flawless block it, he's fucking dead for a lot of the cast. Yeah, not that insane of a character to fight to me. He's just not. Yeah. Okay, big boy himself. Big boy Shao. I'm gonna put in solid right there. Yeah. Upper mid is what I usually have Shao Khan as. That's usually what I say he is. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put... I think he's below Shang, but above Raiden. Shao Khan, genuinely, he doesn't need buffs. It's just... He's like Baraka, but like worse. Like a little worse. He has strengths, yes, and he has things that are busted, yes, but he also has glaring weaknesses. The amount of gaps, lack of a quick jab punish, like all that shit really... Those two alone bring him down quite a bit. There's a lot of things I have to just punish with down one, because I can't punish it with anything else, and it sucks, but I mean... What can you do? His damage is absolutely through the fucking roof, yes, but on top of that, like, after a KB... with Fatal Blow at least, you absolutely have to make a read on what the opponent's going to do. And it's vice versa. This is the only character where you do more 50-50s on hit than any other character. You have to do a 50-50 after shoulder. Are they going to break? Go for the down shoulder. They didn't. Now you just lost out on more damage. Okay, maybe they're not going to break this time. Go with the up shoulder for launching, but then they break. Now you lose out on damage. You know, you land the KB with Fatal Blow. Is it going to break away right away? Throws off Fatal Blow. They don't break away. It whiffs. You get punished. Lose the match. Maybe they're not going to break right away, but then they do, and then you miss the attack and the Fatal Blow, and now they're still in the game when they shouldn't be. Shao Khan has just too many glaring weaknesses. His plus frames are fake. You can backdash. A lot of casts can just backdash after forward 4 or just forward 4 in general. Hammer Lunge is probably the most real frame data I've seen him have that's utilized, but I think it's because idiots don't realize that +1 might not seem like much, but if I throw out my 9-frame jab, it becomes 8 frames, and if you throw anything other than a poke, it's probably going to hit you if you just come near me. The smartest thing to do after that shit is to back up. I'm going to make a video on how to beat Shao Kahn, and I'm going to be putting every little dumb fucking move that a lot of people make that I think is what makes them think he's better than this. But honestly, there's a lot of Shao players that would probably put him like down here, but he's not that bad at all. No, he's really solid. But yeah, it's because he's like Baraka, very imbalanced. A lot of weaknesses, but a lot of strengths. Yeah. Shiva, Ish, but above Rambo, below Molina. Shiva's garbage. After Stomp, yeah, I might lose here and there, but it's because I haven't labbed the character, but no one's making any moves with Shiva other than trolling. Garbage. Sindel. Pretty busted. I'm going to put above Kitana. In fact, I'm going to put above... Yeah, I'm going to put her above Liu Kang. This is probably the #1 online character in terms of low execution, high reward. Character has a low launcher, mid string that goes across, no gap, not punishable either. Only Jade can punish it, spending a meter, and it has to be like frame perfect. Scream KB is arguably the best KB in the fucking game. I think it is actually. Yeah, it's pretty much an almost full screen mid that's active for like 40 frames. That counters on any type of button press, whether it be an attack or even just backdashing or forward dashing. You get hit out of that too. That KB's. It's ridiculous. I'll be right back. My girlfriend just got here. Really good toolkit. Her stupid gimmick shit like hair flip and stuff like that just adds on to it. Low screamer, low profiles mids. Character overall just doesn't have a glaring weakness in my opinion. She might be a little slow or clunky, but online that pretty much doesn't like affect her at all. Overall, yeah, really dumb character, leaving her in pretty busted. Scarlett. Oh, that's right. Oh, sorry, this is on stream. Back to the. Yeah, close it. Thank you. Scarlett, I'm gonna put in solid because I don't think she struggles against too much of the cast, but she's definitely a very bland character. Her playstyle doesn't stick out much. Put her behind Robo, but nah, I'll put Johnny there. Yeah, she's at the back of solid because she's not meh. She's definitely like a solid character, but doesn't have a lot going for her. A lot of gaps. Yes, good range. Her damage is okay now. Her fatal blow is like no scaling. Her armor break is great, but like the punishableness and inability to deal with characters like Jade and, in my opinion, any character in the air, I think really brings her down. So yeah, stays in solid, doesn't go anywhere. Sonia, I'm gonna put in lower mid, but at the top. She's definitely pretty much, yeah, I'm gonna put her in solid actually, right behind Scarlett. Just because she's very much meh, but once she gets her game plan going, she's actually pretty fucking annoying to deal with. The mix, the ring cancels, a lot of damage going on. You know, she can stagger it, her throw loops are there, her movement is meh, her range is meh, her damage is okay. Like, you don't really, I don't know. Yeah, similar to her daughter, not a lot of weaknesses, not a lot of strengths. Or, nah, I take that back. Cassie's like a decent toolkit all around. Sonia's like a really good toolkit up close, and afar she's okay, but like mid-screen and sweep range she's like kind of rough. Spawn, pretty busted. I'm gonna put, yeah, you know, I'm gonna put him above Kotal because this character's pretty fucking stupid, dude, with soul forfeit. You get to use KBs for no fucking you don't even gotta hit the requirements, you just have to hit them, period. Character has does a shitload of damage, insane range, insane fucking like movement, insane damage. Obviously all the highest combos are usually done by this character. Like a lot of the really high damaging plus like 50 like easily, all the combos that do more than like 50-ish% are usually done by this character and Shao, but this character can open you up with anything pretty much. Throw, strike throw mix, and then if soul forfeit's active, that's your ass. Yeah, pretty damn busted, but nothing as dumb as Buzzsaw, so that's why he's like just below Kung Lao. But okay, the last of the demonry, Subzero. So yeah, Jade's not quite top 5, but she's pretty fucking problematic to me. But that's what I meant. Yeah, Subzero's gonna go above her. I'm gonna put him behind Cabal because he still very much relies on mix more so than Cabal. Subzero has great range, insane movement, the obvious 50-50s that lead into death all the time. You can lead into a restand or just overall damage. He's got a really high execution 50% combo in the corner for just like 2 bars and a KB, but it doesn't require anything insane. You just have to open them up with back 3-2 into slide or an ice ball. Just if you can back 3-2 slide and get the jab 2 into the rising ice, that's really all you need. Yeah, I don't really need to say too much about Subzero. A lot of the people that post YouTube clips of them winning tend to have this character. You're dog shit if you're winning with Subzero to me at the low level. If you're a casual YouTuber posting clips of robbing people with Subzero, like, I saw it, Subzero the combat god. No, he's not. He's just a turn off your brain and I'm gonna win completely. Like, he's a gamble character with a strong toolkit. Like, he can completely gamble away, but then if he feels like it, he can keep it safe too. That's what keeps him up there. On top of the insane movement, general spacing tools, slide punish, you know, you can slide punish a lot of moves that are, you know, you're caught whiffing, whatever like that. Yeah, top 5. And finally, Terminator. I'm gonna put him pretty busted. In fact, I'm gonna put him just under Kano. Nah, just under, I think he's more annoying than Liu Kang, but not as annoying as Sindel. Buff term is probably the most used term on Twitter. But the character to me is pretty fucking dumb, dude. I mean, the mix is just stupid. Go watch Wasminator use Terminator. Homie was cracking up the whole fucking video because it literally doesn't take much effort or thinking. You just have to throw something out. And he doesn't have 2-way overhead 50-50s like Subzero. He has like 4-way mix, and it's ridiculous. Low grab, high overhead, or was it low Could be a high throw, low throw. Like, there's just so much going on mid command. There's just too much mix. There's just too much going on. He has great KBs, easy to load. You can stack them. That shit's insane. That's another thing about Subzero that kind of puts him up there too. But yeah, this is how I see the tier list. I think most characters, as you can see, are pretty up there. I think maybe only 8, as you can see, again, are kind of on the lower end. But for the most part, yeah, I think every character in this game is viable. I think, like, yeah, very few are really, really weak, like these guys. Some of them take a little bit more effort and are still pretty bad, like these guys. Like, they're not super strong or anything. But most of the cast is in this range. Like, this is the biggest one. Solid, you know, not weak, not super strong, but... Or if they are super strong, they're only super strong against certain play styles or characters. A good chunk is pretty busted, but it's just the way this game plays. I don't necessarily think it's a them exclusive. And 6 characters completely ruin the game. These 6 douchebags. But yeah, that's where I think every character stands as of the game's final update. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Again, if we don't agree, it's fine. If you're disrespectful, I'm probably going to call you a cunt. Have a great day.